Well, what's going on, YouTube? In the immortal words of Minister Jap, we back! We back! What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. It's good to be back. I've been gone for a while, but I'm back here for you guys. Man, it's been a lot of stuff going on in the world, man. It's been a lot of stuff. It's been a bunch of craziness, and it's almost too much to bear, but you know what? Life goes on. So it's a nice day. It's summer, it's summertime, I think, officially, and it's one of those R&B type of days, the sun goes down at 9 o'clock, you can be out with your loved ones, be out with your friends, enjoying the mood, enjoying the barbecues and everything like that. And I love it. You should too. So without further ado, let's get into this broadcast. Give y'all a little bit of R&B to kick off the show. Welcome, new subscribers, Nicole Porter and Derek Colbert. Welcome to the live in the den. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you. Well. What do you know? What did you know? I'm back. I am officially back. Let me get this stuff going. I figure you want to see me for a little bit. All right. How y'all doing this evening, this wonderful June 2nd? Welcome to the den. Welcome to the den. We are live and we are back, without further ado. I welcome you to It's Getting Hot Out There. That's the title of today's video. It's getting hot out there. And if you have been paying attention to the news, if you've been paying attention to what's going on out there, as well, it's getting hot out there. And I'm not just talking about the summer. I'm not just talking about the sun and the heat, the radiation. I'm talking about all the different things that is going on. And one can blame it on the retrograde if you're into astrology, and one could blame it on the lack of sympathy and empathy that we have in the world and in America as well. But it is what it is, and I'm going to give it to you just like I always told you. I'm going to give it to you as fair and balanced as I can. So what have you guys been doing today? What have you guys been doing today? What have you guys been doing with yourselves for the week? Have you been doing good? Have you been eating healthily? Make sure this is on right. I don't want to have. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need the extra audio. All right, all right. Have you been eating healthy? There's something I'm always going to talk about in the den, with the with our health, as men and women too. Women can actually gain a little knowledge from being healthy, especially living in the climate in the world. I would say the West, the Western society, we're going to put in our wants, what we want to eat, what we want to drink over, long lasting health. And it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit, and like everything, habits are hard to break, but we got to break them if we want to be here as long as we can with our loved ones, with our family members, and we got to take account for that. It's only nobody's responsible for the stuff that you put in your mouth besides you and you only. So take care of yourself. If you have you drank your water, if you haven't drank your gallon of water, start. It's not midnight. You got plenty of time to get that water intake in, and start the journey. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till to the end of the month. You start the day, and this could be as little as just cutting out some of that sugary drinks and getting more water into your diet. I actually have plans to do a 5K. If you haven't done a 5K, I don't even know what exactly is the 5K compared to miles, because I'm not a math whiz. 5K, let's put it in 5K in miles. It's 3.1 miles. 3.1 miles. If you don't know about 5Ks, if you don't know about running, you know, it's something that I recently came into came into knowing that I wanted to do is running. I never did think that I would like running. I never did think that I would find anything in running, because I always thought, aerobics and running and jogging and all that stuff like that was boring, and and just not useful. But the more you do it, if you're not into high impact exercises, running could be a very easy start for you to get your exercise in, your 30 minutes a day in. And you can jog. You don't even have to run at a full sprint. You can jog to actually get the health benefits out of it, and it's peaceful. I begin to get what they call the runner's high in it, and I feel, every day I feel like I can push myself longer and longer. I'm at around 2 miles right now, and I'm starting to document how better I'm doing, how the progress, because you got to progress. You got to be able to push yourself, and everybody's not able to push themselves. But if you can push yourself, going, trying to do it faster, trying to go longer than what you were able to do the week before is always a good goal to start with. Like last year I was actually at a 8 to almost 9 minute miles, and my body told me that I wasn't 20 years old anymore, and my ankle gave out on me. That felt like my legs had all kind of shin splints in them, and it was a setback. Almost it put me out. I was out of it for like 6 months to almost a year, and then Thanksgiving came around, and you know what happens when Thanksgiving come around. You eat the greens, beans, potatoes, and tomatoes, all of that good stuff, and you just get set back. And so this summer or this spring, I decided to get back in it and actually take my time, understand what my body can do, understand my limits and what I can do to be able to get that extra push without completely tearing myself up. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to slowly work my way up to 3 miles without, stopping, going at a slow pace. As long as I don't stop for a breath, I'll consider it, a win. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do is continue to push ourselves to the limit. You got to be able to push yourself to the limit, no matter what you're doing in life, no matter what goals you have. You got to be able to push yourself to the limit, and only you can tell yourself what the limit is. So do it. I suggest you all do it. Be healthy. Be healthy. Don't sit there and not be there for your loved ones. Are okay. Yeah, that's it. That's part of that. Get out there in the summertime, and there's no excuse to get out there and sweat a little bit. So do that. You'll thank me later. Wow. Like I said in the beginning, I have been gone a minute from live streaming, and it shows sometimes. If you've been in YouTube, you know that you can't take very long off. I took about I took about maybe 10 days off of even making pre-records. So I jumped back into that. So if you haven't been by the channel to check out those pre-records, make sure you do that. Make sure you get something out of some of that video, some of my videos, whether it's a smile, whether it's understanding, or whether it's the ability to see somebody interact on social media that is not completely polarized, and know that you have a home and that you have a place to where mostly men can talk, but if constructive, women can join in on the conversation too. I don't want it to be one of those places where um, women try to run amok. We're not going to let that happen here on the channel. So I appreciate it. Anybody, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, know that you have a home here in the den with Aaron EBM. So you have to be under a rock to not know what's been going on here in America regarding the mass shootings, the shootings, and all of the extra violence, far and in between. So, that has been another reason I've been gone, because it's kind of hard. Everybody's different. Everybody's different in this social media game, and it's hard for me to just jump on different topics, especially like the ones with the mass shootings and when people passing away and being taken out. It's hard, but then you add in the young children in it, and it almost feels like you're out of line sometimes when you're talking about some of these different subjects. And that's one I wasn't going to be quick to jump on. Of course, I'm talking about the shooting that happened in Texas with the young children. May they all rest in peace. I hope the families actually, I wish them peace and in the losses. And I do not know and do not want to even know a piece of what they're feeling right now. So if you can give your prayers, please do. Plug my laptop back up. We don't want to die. I got to plug that laptop back up. But like always, things like this, shootings and murders and deletions of people, are always a big debate. It's always a polarizing subject in America when these things happen, because like clockwork, when shootings and harm comes to people, it always comes back to the gun control issue. The what can we do for gun control? Should we take away high capacity magazines? Should we take away quote unquote assault rifles? Should we take them away because it's killing the people in droves, and and it looks like there's nothing to do to stop that from happening, and it makes people look heartless. And you get one side, mostly the Democrats, and you get one side, the Republicans, saying, fighting the Democrats on the gun control altogether because of the bases. And it happens like clockwork. It happens from administration to administration when horrible things like this happen. And people should take account for the things that are going on in the country that they live in. I'm not going to say that they should not take account and try to do their best to stop these things from happening. But if you look at what's going on, it seems like we are trying to put a band-aid on slit wrist. I told somebody that before in the conversation that I was having, that we're trying to put a band-aid on a slit wrist. We take away, the tool or the weapon or the whatever you want to call it, but then we don't address the actual issues or the actual problems that our people are suffering through in America in the first place. So that's why I say it's putting a band-aid on the problem. And how long do you do that? How long? I'm not saying that it keeping something out of the hands of a person, or trying to keep it out of the hands of a person that is wishing to do harm on somebody, isn't a good thing. But that's like people getting killed, and people getting killed in drunk driving incidents, and then you want to take all the cars off the road instead of taking the cars off the road, we just leave the alcoholics and the alcoholism there because it's America and we want to make money off the alcohol. Why aren't we dealing with the problems with addiction, the alcohol addiction? Why aren't we dealing with problems like that? But instead of, we're going to take out the car out of the equation, hoping that the person doesn't hurt as many people as they did before, because we've taken the one part of that equation out. So, but what we really need to do is focus on who we are as a people, what we're doing as a people, how we care as about each other as a people, not being so desensitized and so void from the meaning and of life and life itself, and actually care about one another, instead of just taking the tool out and then just leaving them to be. I don't consider myself a Democrat or a Republican. Anybody with sense, anybody that has sensibility, has a little bit of both in them. Has a little bit of both in them. Some things you want to be conservative on, some things you want to be more liberal on, some, depending on who you are talking to. But most of us are somewhere in the middle, and we wax and wane over to each side, from time to time. That's just the reality. And being extreme on one end of or the other really doesn't help anybody. What it does is continue to polarize the nation. So yes, you have one side. Like I said before, you have one side. We're going to talk about the conservative side wanting one thing, and you have the Democrats wanting another thing. See, people really need to understand. I heard, you hear this subject all the time, that no matter what side it is, whether it's the left side or the right side, it's all part of the same bird. But you have to realize like this: they might be part of the same system, but both sides have their fundamental differences and fundamental issues that they feel near and dear to them on that side. See, Republicans, if you don't are conservatives, whatever you want to talk about or think about it at that moment, for the most part, they want free market, and they believe in people doing what they do and taking advantage of the America that we live in. And if you like it or love it, that you love so much, taking a part of it, taking advantage of the opportunities. And if you don't, it's on you. It seems like that, that's just what it is. On the other hand, with the left side, the Democratic side, it is more so the party of social, the social economics, socialism. What can we do to make the country more sociable? What can we do to help and give more of everything, whether it's tolerance or social programs or whatever? You can see how if the country gave all of its resources to social programs, how what will actually happen is money will run out, and then we will want to pull from other places, which is most likely the American people, and more so the companies, and give back to the social programs. But often that happens is the bigger parts of the country, the people that are giving the jobs actually hurt, and then they're not able to pay the wages, or they're not able to give the jobs. And then it's kind of like I said, a balancing act. It's checks and balances, and you can't really have too much in one direction without it hurting the country. And we get so caught up in the wanting to be right and wanting to keep the traditions that our parents gave us, because realistically that's what it is. It's our parents told us to do this, and that's the way we feel, because we've been indoctrinated. No matter what side you're on, you've been indoctrinated to think and feel the way that the people of before you did, and the way they thought. And it continues to be like that. And I suggest anybody that has a brain and can think for themselves, don't just pick a party because you feel like this is what's happening. That's what they have. That's what they like you to do. They want you to feel and get in your emotions, and then not think about 100% of what's going on, and then just just lackadaisically give them your votes, and that's not what we need to do. We all need to get out of the point the habit of just not thinking for ourselves, and we really need to continue to start being free thinking. There's nothing, nobody wants you to be free thinkers. Everybody wants you to be sheep. Everybody wants you to fall asleep and do what we want you to do and let us have it. And that's a part of why what my grievance with the Democratic side is. It's because they give you things, and then they take parts of your freedom, and then they expect you to believe in them wholeheartedly, and they'll protect you from everything. But we know this isn't the truth. We know this isn't what goes on, and this isn't what happens. And we see that happen over and over again. Let me see. Yeah, move this out of the way. Move over a little bit. Yeah, this is what begins to happen over and over again. You guys see it. It's not just me. It happens over and over again. You got people complaining and whining because they gave votes out, and then they don't do anything. And then we're just sitting here with our hands in our pocket begging for people to help us again. And I'm telling you, if you're tired from that, or if you're tired of that, you need to start and thinking for yourself, doing for yourself. Look at what's really going on and understand that we're not going to get anywhere until we start doing for ourselves. That's the number one problem. We can't sit here and think that these people are going to save us, because they're not going to save us. And it's irritating. It's irritating to continue to see people think that they're going to just give us and be our protectors and our saviors, because they're not. And you guys got to realize that. And you guys got to realize that because the United States is not a democracy. I know you guys don't like that. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I know you guys don't. I know you guys really believe that America is a democracy, and they care about what you're doing, what you're feeling, and your thoughts matter, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I know you want to call foul. I know you want to call a yellow flag on me, a flag on the play for saying that, but it's not. America is not a democracy. It is a constitutional republic. It is a constitutional republic that uses methods of democracy to determine its elected officials and or leaders. That's what it does. It uses that to determine who we put in office. It uses that to be as fair looking as they can and as possible. But that's just not the truth. It is a constitutional republic, which means the system will do anything in its power to continue to gain control, gain power, to keep the republic in the spot that it is in the world, to continue to be a superpower, to continue to keep its people under control. And they will do this at all costs, which would, if that means taking people out, using the America's Ninja Force, the Navy SEALs. I salute to them anyway. You salute to them too, because they you know, do what they have to do. And really think about it, they're ninjas. That's what they do. They get in, they get out undetected, and they follow the orders that's given to them. But it is a republic nonetheless, and they will continue to be a republic until the day we get out of here, until the day something just completely changes and falls. So more than nonsense going on. So let me see. It's a great segue and to protecting yourself and the Second Amendment in the gun control. So, well, a lot of what happens is the polarization happens regardless, and the Second Amendment is a big one. The Second Amendment always comes up, whether or not the Second Amendment is the same or needs to be amendment, because of the weapons that were made back then aren't the weapons that are here that we have now. And I urge people to really think about this when they say this. No, the weapons are not the same, but the weapons aren't there. The Second Amendment isn't there, and it wasn't covering or about the weapons themselves. It was about having these militias, these well-armed militias here, because they didn't want America to turn into what Britain was. And they knew that because of this system, it was a bunch of great minds knew that this system was so great and could be so powerful that at one point there will be times in our history that we will our America's history as we know it to that men and women would have to rise up and stop the corruption from happening in the government. I can't remember how the saying goes, but I believe it's the tree of liberty is refreshed by the blood of tyrants and patriots. They knew that then. They knew that then. And what does that mean? That means to order to keep the country, the land that people hold so great, you have to realize that people will have to fight for that. It won't be this comfortable utopia that a lot of people believe is supposed to happen. This utopia that the government is supposed to make for you, and you will make you feel good and safe, and you'll never have to worry about anything as long as you keep believing in us, and giving us your freedom. It won't happen like that. What will happen is the power will become greater, and then your power will become less and less, and you won't have any rights. So that's what I'm saying. People have to really think about what they're doing. You want to defund the police, and then at the same time you want your right to take have weapons away. What are you left with? You're left with criminals there to overrun you, take away your ability to live, take away your ability to have the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And then what do? You turn around and call back on the government to help you out of the situation that you gave the government in the first place. You gave them that power. But you got to protect yourself. You got to be able to protect yourself, because let's be realistic. The government isn't always going to be here for you. The police, we're going to talk about the police. The police aren't the first line of defense. The police are not your protector. The police are responders. You and you alone are responsible and the first line of defense of your home, of the people around you, of your loved ones. And you need to be as ready and as prepared as you can, whether it is from marksmanship, whether it's from hand-to-hand combat, whether it is and it could be a combination of both. But you have to realize that the police will only get there unless you're lucky and that they're just rolling or strolling around. They will only get there after the problem or after the situations have already arisen. You have to realize that the police are not there to be your hand holding hand or your aid in life. They're not there. They are responders. Remember that. You want to take the life, or you want to take the the position of protecting yourself and making sure that you and your loved ones make it to another day. You need to take it seriously, that taking care of yourself, and arming yourself, if you are willing, is one of the best things to do. And I'm not just talking about going to the gun show or going to the gun shop and then carrying your gun willy nilly. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about actually going to get training, going to continuous gun ranges or whatever it may be, to continue to keep your skills up. That's also got to do with hand-to-hand combat as well, to be ready for for as many situations as you can. Taking that right away to protect yourself and giving it to somebody else or the government is not the way to go. It's not the thing to do, and it will be your downfall altogether. This brings me to, I don't have the case right now, but apparently, and I probably have to talk about this more after the live stream. There is if you don't know, I'm from Southeast Missouri originally. So, near where I lived is Cape Girardeau, Missouri, is Sykeston, Missouri, maybe 20 plus miles away. So it is a serial killer on the loose down there right now. I don't have more information. I wish I did to kind of show you guys, but I thought to myself, were the four men, by the way, they're targeting men, and I couldn't help but to think to myself, were these men armed? If they weren't armed, if they weren't armed, if they were, turn around, and if they were, would that have made a difference? Would that have helped them from meeting their ultimate demise? Would that have changed the position that they had? Would that have done anything like that, or not? And I can't help to think like that might have been the change. That might have been the difference if they knew how to protect themselves. That might have been the difference if they knew how to shoot a gun. It could have played a tremendous role, and they could have been here today if they protect themselves. But oftentimes here in America that we don't take ourselves seriously. We sit here, we don't take threats in the world seriously. We continue to think and be comfortable and think that things won't happen to us. We think that we can just go through life, oblivious to all the dangers that are lurking around us all the time, and think, well, I'll be okay because I have the police here to help me, and this is America, and nothing like that will happen to me, and I'll be okay. And if it is, I'll always have some backup. I'll always have somebody there to help me out. I'll always have somebody there, but that's not the case. And you guys really need to pay attention to that, because it's not the case. And I'm going to continue to say this through the rest of 2022, and maybe have some different things or in different places and different avenues for you to look into, even if you want to arm yourself or even think about it. Maybe we can talk about some of the cheaper intros into doing that. I have some different contacts that we can talk to, and we could talk about that too as well, to actually make a difference, to actually keep you guys safe and as safe as possible. And I'm not talking about being John Wayne. I don't want you guys to go out there, because you have to, when you take on the responsibility and you decide to say partake in the Second Amendment, and you decide to arm yourself, for the greater good of you and your family, you have to. It's actually a level of responsibility that goes above and beyond that. That's why I say the training is necessary. Even though we stay in the state, well, I stay in the state that allows you to conceal and carry without a license. I will implore you, if you stay in one of those states, to not do that. Make sure you go pay the $125, $150 it takes to do the course. Get your license, put it in your wallet, whatever you want to do, and have it there, because if something does go down, it's better to go into a situation looking as pristine, clean, and crisp, and on your P's and Q's as professional as you can, and not just look like somebody that just wants to do this John Wayne thing and be the protector of the streets. Let me see. I get a comment. What's up, Bells G? What's up, Bells G? Hold on, I got something for you. What's going on, Bells G? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing all right today. Hope you're doing all right. If you're new to the channel, and if you're new to this live stream, this is Live in the Den with Aaron EBM. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Today, we're talking about the heat that is going on in America right now, and it's getting very hot outside, and I don't see a break in the weather at all. So if you have the ability to watch this live stream, I suggest you do watch this live stream. And if you don't have the time to watch it right now, I suggest you come back later and listen to the live stream and check out some of the other videos on the channel. You will not be disappointed. And what are we going to now? I should have got that together, but I didn't get that together. We'll talk about that next time too. But we're going to move on to the community. How you guys doing? If you are not familiar with the community, it is the dysfunctional African American community, and what can be done to change the defectiveness. Sorry about that.
Lewis was released on 5.
We're going to listen to that too. Let's do this first. I actually have a video up. Of the Tulsa, what they had, the Tulsa shooter, and a little bit more information was given on that. So I'll go ahead and put that up. Let me know if you guys can hear that when I play this.
Michael Lewis went into the hospital for a back surgery. The performing physician was Dr. Preston Phillips. Mr. Lewis was released on 5/24, May the 24th. After release, Lewis called several times over several days, complaining of pain and wanted additional treatment. On May 31st, Dr. Phillips saw Mr. Lewis again for additional treatment. Yesterday, June the 1st, Lewis called Dr. Phillips' office again, complaining of back pain and wanting additional assistance. Now, we know through the help of our ATF and their gun tracing that at 2 p.m. on June the 1st, Mr. Lewis purchased a semi-automatic rifle from a local gun store. That semi-automatic rifle was an AR-15 style rifle. We know that Mr. Lewis purchased a semi-automatic handgun, a 40 caliber Smith & Wesson pistol on May the 29th from a local pawn shop. Thus far, we have recovered 30 .223 casings from the crime scene. We have also recovered 7 40 caliber casings from the crime scene. We have also found a letter on the suspect which made it clear that he came in with the intent to kill Dr. Phillips and anyone who got in his way. He blamed Dr. Phillips for the ongoing pain following the surgery.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out.
So apparently, this guy is crazy. And I know a lot of people have already talked about this. I just don't like talking about this stuff as soon as it happens, man, because so much stuff happens and so many things happen and so many things change. And I don't like, just jumping on stuff this serious. Now I play around when we're talking about this gossip stuff. Who cares? It is what it is. It's all fun and games at the end of the day with that stuff. But this serious stuff, um, I don't like to play with too much. And I've lived in Oklahoma too. This happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've lived in Claremore, Oklahoma, and I traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and had my sisters lived over there at one point in time, and I was over there every weekend. And that was my stomping ground. That's what I did. And a lot of people say, well, this is the home of Black Wall Street and all of that, and it is. But if you live there, and if you have lived there, like you were saying, like, I'm surprised this hasn't happened before or happened already, because it is nuts. It's just like every other big city, depending on where you stay at, you know, it could be a great living experience or a horrible living experience. And I have some horror stories. My nephew was actually, have got deleted over there, and I know it's rough. It's rough over there. So, like I said, thoughts and prayers go out to them. And it's a lot of people with mental problems. It's a lot of people out on the edge, and we just don't care enough as a people to actually make a difference, actually to do something, you know, as a people, as American people. And then we have our issues as a subset of people. We really don't care about what's going on. Either you're chasing the bag, or you're trying to get one, or you got one, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, whether you got your bag or you making that money. And regardless, everybody else can take a back seat, and they'll continue to get like that until people start really paying attention and being aware of who they are and who's around them, and actually letting people know that they care. You don't know. That's why I try to tell people, remember how you treat people. You walk across somebody, and you can either make their day or ruin their day by how you treat them and what you say to them. And I know a lot of people don't like that kind of stuff on these live streams, but sometimes you just got to say what you got to say and let that be that. But remember who you talk to. Remember that you can make somebody or break somebody just by mere words. So on to the community. I seen a very
Goddamn, hold on to it.
no, we're gonna say that one. We're gonna say that one. We're gonna watch a video that I seen the other day, and I thought it was interesting. The video was very interesting. And I want you guys to look at this. We're going to look at this and break this down. As soon as I get it to blow up, we're going to look at this and break this down. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this video. And turn this up a little bit. And we go from here, because this is very indicative of what goes on in the community, regardless if people want to call it out or not. This is what I do, and I always told you this is what I will do. I would always and I will continue to expose this foolishness. So let's look at this video.
It don't matter. You doing too much. Why are you following him around the store like that?
All right, so before we get into it, supposedly the guy was in there looking for some balloons, some Jimmy hats, and I don't know how he got into the altercation with this Dollar Tree store worker, but she's a pretty hefty lady, not nothing out of the ordinary in the community. She was pretty hefty, and the guy was, like always, that gets into it with one of these ladies, fairly smaller than her. I'll say she was at least twice his size, but come on, let's look at it. Let's see. Right there, you see the strikes. This guy has not hit her one time. She has him by the hair and I believe by the shirt and by the hair. And you'll see her right now striking him.
Hey, that's assault. You're assaulting him. Don't do nothing, Geach. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing, Geach. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing, Geach. Don't do nothing, Geach. She assaulted you. Don't do nothing, Geach. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing, Geach. Don't do nothing.
You guys see her have him by the hair.
Don't do nothing.
All right, do you see the size of this hefty lady? She's a pretty hefty store worker.
Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing, Geach. Don't do nothing, Geach. Geach, don't do nothing. Lady, get your hands off of him. Get your hands off of him. Hey, get your hands off of him. Get your hands off of him. Yo, get your hands off of him. Get your hands off of him. Yo, get your hands off of him.
Tell him to get off of me.
Tell him to get off of me while she got a handful of his hair, but she got to get off of him. Let me ask y'all, what is it? Is it a underlying hatred for black men in the community? Is it a underlying hatred? Is it a issue to where women want? Is it a power struggle? Is it a power thing? Is it something that women in the community feel like they have to establish the dominance of men there? Or is it something to where the matriarchal standard has been put on and they feel like they can just do this to a man and get away with it? Is it cultural? Is it case by case basis? Or do you think there is some kind of evil way of thinking, or evil I don't want to say spirit, but what is it? What do you guys think it is? What do you guys think it is? Is it cultural? Is it something that the women in the community, I think that they can get away with doing men like this? And this is what I often say, is that it's funny how women in the community, I think that are say that they are the least protected. But I want you to watch this video and tell me what you think about that. If women in the community are being the least protected.
Get your hands off. His hands is off you. Get off me. His hands is off you. Get my phone. His hands is off you. Yo, his hands is off you. His hands is off you. Oh my God, bro. Yo. Where's his phone at?
All right, yeah, no.
Now, hold on. Did y'all see that? After all of this, what this woman did to this man, after the hits, after the pulling of the hair, when he decided to get angry and toss her to the ground, all of a sudden, okay, get off of her. Get off of her. Don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. And look at this mother raised male right here. Where was this skinny young fellow when he was when his fellow brethren was getting beat in the back? Was he trying to break it up? This I'm not going to push play yet because this is sickening. This is a sickening part of the community, you know, and I call it the community. When this behavior happens, you know, it's not community standard. This is community standard. You know, why is it that we feel like we need to abide by this code of chivalry? Let a woman continue to pummel us and beat us, and then when we decide to defend ourselves, oh, wait a minute, she's a woman. But clearly she wasn't a woman when she was uppercutting him with a handful of keys.
Get off my head! 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 She's a fucking woman.
Oh, hey, hold on. Did anybody else hear that? Bells G, you in the chat? I got another person in the chat. Did you hear that? If you heard that, and if you want to participate, let me know what you heard that person just say with the black do-rag on. I'm going to leave it here for a second. What did that person just say with the black do-rag on? What did he say? I'm waiting. Bells G, you said women don't respect men. They do not respect men. And why is that? You know, why do women not respect men? Without blaming men, why do women not respect men? Why don't they respect them? You know, not saying a lot of women say, well, men treat us this way and we just react. But clearly you've seen in the beginning of this video that no one disrespected that woman to the point to where she needed to punch this man in the face without him hitting her first. So I'm asking you, and I'm asking the people out here. I know it's another person in here right now. I appreciate you being live here in the den. What do you think about that? Do you believe that there is an issue? And if there is an issue, what is it and where is it stemming from? You know, me personally, I feel like women are using this feminist standard that, you know, that we are equal. We are equal. We are unable, you know, we can't discriminate. We are 100% equal. And then but at the same time, we want preferential treatment to be able to treat and do you any kind of way. And then use it again to say that if you do retaliate or you do decide to protect yourself, then all of a sudden I'm a woman again and I'm a fairer sex. Because women get away with it. Yes. What is that? Go. Yes, because women get away with it. They get away with it because it's socially acceptable. Yes, it is. Let me get that on there. I need to put that up there. It's yes. Because women get away with it and it's socially acceptable. You know, and I had to tell brothers today that yes, you know, and I sound it might sound soft, but brothers got to realize that you matter. You matter too. You matter, and it's not just women and women being able to do what they want to do with you, and you get to sit back and be robbed of your humanity, because that's what's happening now. Men are looked at and viewed as not human. We're able to be trampled, we're able to be hit, we're able to be pummeled, you know, and clearly you can't use this is the fairer sex because she is twice as hard, she is twice his size. And if anybody has any family members that are women that are twice their size, I don't care if you're a man or you're a woman, if they hit you with them ham hocks, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Yes, it's going to hurt. I don't care if they're a woman or not. Okay, let's get back in here.
Can't be doing that. The fuck you doing that? The fuck you doing?
You see that Jamaican woman? What are you doing? She's pointing at the man. What are you doing while this lady has a fist full of hair?
Can't be doing that. We said to God. I don't give a fuck what you want. Good fuck that video.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. Let's see. Bells, what do you got to say, Bells? I really think that for these adults, it's the last cause. Now, generation that we are raising, we should definitely make it clear about differences between men and women. Yes, I mean, we should make it clear that there are differences between men and women, but women, yes, there are clearly differences between men and women, but in this age, or not say, but I'm just adding to what you said, in this age of being equal and being chivalrous, if all the people, all the parties in general need to expect the unexpected, hope for the best, but expect the worst. If you see this a woman beating on the man, expect for him to retaliate, or expect for him to defend himself, and please stop all parties. I've seen many people. Shout out to Ramil. I don't have the video, but I've seen the same instance where a woman chased a man around a pawn shop, hitting him and beating him, and when he squared up with her, all of a sudden the guys want to come jump him. What is that? We're supposed to just sit and get beat? No, you guys matter too. You guys matter too, and I'm gonna continue to say that until these women leave their hands off of you, or until they start retaliating with full force with what they call it, start retaliating with America's full might. When you start retaliating with America's full might, if you start swinging with the fist of your dead ancestors and the slaves that came over here, when you start putting the fear of God in people, they will not respect you.
Nobody called 911. All of that. Y'all did all of that. None of y'all called 911. Only thing y'all did was assault that man. None of y'all called 911. Only thing y'all did was assault him. That's all y'all did. That's all y'all did was assault him. That's all y'all did. Get off my head. That's all y'all did. That's all y'all did.
What the hell are you talking about? Let go. The girl got a handful of your hair, but you grabbing me by my neck, telling me to let go of her. This is the mental. This is mental. This is mental, and at the mental issues at its worst and best at the same time. This is mental. How can you jump on a man that's totally getting abused by the worker and telling him to let go? This is the brainwashing that these mother-raised males have. That's the importance of having a male in the home. That's a part of having male influence. That's a part of knowing that, what's level, what's even, what's right and what's wrong, and not just jumping on a man and thinking that women are supposed to just be able to these gods of the community and be able to walk all over you like they're King Tut or Queen Sheba.
That's all y'all did. That's all y'all did. That's all y'all did. That's all y'all did.
Okay, while he's squinting there, she also sprayed him with mace. If you didn't get that, she sprayed him with mace, and she decided to pummel him after she sprayed him, or during the assault, she sprayed him with mace. So that's double kill. That's two things. She sprayed him and she beat him like that. You guys have to understand that, they scream being the least protected. They scream being the least protected, but then they turn around and treat you, or treat the men in society like they're trash. They then turn around and claim to be the least protected, and then want them to turn around and protect you. Do you honestly think that this man is going to protect any woman after this, let alone another black woman or African American woman? Do you think he's going to go out of his way to help another woman out? All right, if you got kids watching this, please cover their ears. I would have beat the living shit out this big woman, and I would have took my jail time peacefully, because there's nothing that's going to make these women, or this kind of woman, respect you as a man unless showing her or putting the fear of God in one of them. And I'm not somebody that just wants to go around slapping up and beating up on women. But when is enough going to be enough for men to understand that you are a human too, and you are to be respected, and you matter. You matter.
I'm not gonna hit her. I'm not gonna hit her.
Why both y'all just don't let it go? Y'all both grown adults. And he still want my
You got my hair.
Let both of my
Let it go. You gotta let it go too, lady.
Okay.
Let it go, lady.
Please.
Let it go, lady.
Okay.
Let it go. Let it go. That's it.
All right. Got two
Give me
big
a food,
fans.
dog. I got it.
All right, that was that. Well, I don't have the follow up with this, but I do know that this lady has been charged with aggravated assault. I do know that she's been charged with aggravated assault, and hopefully she doesn't work at that Dollar Tree again. You guys got to realize, like I said, wonder, and I really think I really have a heart for the kids. I do. Because at this point, there's no hope. There's no hope for the grown-ups. There's no hope for the people, the adults, the Gen Xers, the millennials. There's no hope, and the Zs are seeing this now. And some of the Zs already understand that they'll get hit upside the head with a skateboard, or two, messing with some of these guys that are out here, some of these Gen Z guys. But you got to realize that there are children being raised by these women, and children being raised by these women. Think about it. 18 to 20 plus years you have to be with a gigantic, angry black woman. It's no wonder why the kids leave and rebel and don't want to have anything to do with the women that you say look like you. You hear that often, right? Well, this woman doesn't look like me. Why don't you want a woman that looks like your mama? I want you to look like me. But you had to deal with, and you had to endure 18 to 21 years of angry woman that looks like you. Let's continue. Now, this is a lady that I did not look for, but YouTube and their infinite wisdom sent this woman's channel to my algorithm, and I had the strange epiphany to go ahead and watch this, and I was blessed with a jewel. So let's look at this a little bit. Let's look at this. The name of this woman is Somebody's Business. Her channel is Somebody's Business. If you want to go watch some of her content, please do. But we're going to enjoy some of this.
Bitch and shit, hold on to it and do what the fuck you need to motherfucking do, because y'all dick and shit already don't be motherfucking working. Now, to move on to what she was talking about, and then it's gonna be the last story, and I'm gonna get off here.
Not even, this is a long video. This is over an hour video, and I just started it. And you already heard a penis reference, right? You already heard a penis reference. What does the saying go? Eat, sleep, fight, bust. Shout out to SKC. Eat, sleep, fight, and bust. Eat, sleep, fight, and bust. The community or the community, depending on who you're talking about, that is all that it amounts to. And that is all that a lot of them know is eat, sleep, fight, bust. Eat, sleep, fight, bust. Your manhood comes down to your penis size, your motion in your ocean, whether you can fight, and what you're going to eat. Eat, sleep, fight, bust.
Look. They got mascara bottles, the young ones. That's why they get used for money. Oh, right. What you mean by mascara? Oh, right. Reiterate that, right? Tell me what you mean by that, because I ain't catching. Now, to me, when I read that, I'm either thinking that mascara bottles, that's a little bit, bruh, or because they are sissy. I don't know. Which one you mean? But now we're gonna get to this story about the white dude and the black boy who does not like white women, black women, and I
wonder why. The story she was talking about is the one in Florida where the young, I think the African male, he was an African immigrant that got killed by the white YouTube influencer. And then she's claiming insanity, but that's what she's talking about here.
Praise and honor and uphold white women like they some fucking kind of queens and shit. Oh, a baby dick. Oh, that's what I got from it. Either a little dick or a nigga is a sissy. I don't know which one.
Disclaimer: this was a family show, but it quickly went left with this video. But I could not leave you guys tonight without showing you this gem, without leaving you and blessing you with the goodness that YouTube has bestowed upon me. And I wouldn't feel right unless I blessed you with the gift as well. So let's continue.
Nah, I ain't never had no, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Damn. My middle daughter, I'm glad she ain't here. She at work. Now, Kayla, don't you watch this because I'm talking about your dad. But my middle daughter, daddy, you know what I'm saying? I swear to God, I want to marry that nigga if he went in the military and I ain't had them goddamn them benefits. I want to marry that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been married twice. I got married really young at 19, and then I got married a few years later after that. And look, Kayla, I hope you don't watch this live and shit. Because, her daddy be on her every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Because her daddy dick was real little. Bruh. But, I was trying to do the right thing and all that kind of shit like that. And, and shit like that.
She already knows she on some BS. That's why she trying to get the words together. This is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but, I can't lie and act like I ain't cheat. I did. You know what I'm saying? I did. I wasn't being satisfied.
Eat, sleep, fight, and bust. SKC, you came out with a gem, man. Eat, sleep, fight, bust. I never thought about it like that, man. But I got to give props, and I got to give it where it's due. You do that. Eat, sleep, fight, and bust, man. Shout out to SKC. Hadn't been up by SKC's channel. I highly suggest you go by his channel. Very good content. You'll appreciate it, and you'll thank me later. Let's continue.
He had a baby bottle pop dick, and I ain't even talking the bottle. I'm talking about the part you suck. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is how he fooled me. So I ain't even gonna be talking about this shit, but
how much money you want to bet she fought some dudes like the lady in the last video?
Whatever come up, come out. This how the fuck we roll over here on somebody's business. Now let me tell y'all, because I like to be transparent and shit. You know what I'm saying? With my motherfucking people.
Oh, hold on. I forgot about something. I want to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing by everybody here. So fair use, everyone. Fair use. This is for educational purposes, and I want you guys to know that. And I love and appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and enjoying this lesson that we're learning tonight. Hopefully you get something out of it and you'll be able to bless somebody with the knowledge that you gain.
Now, how I ended up being stuck with this nigga, I'm gonna tell y'all how I ended up. So I was 4 months pregnant when I met my middle baby daddy. If y'all don't know, I got 3 baby daddies.
Hold on. I didn't mean to put my face back up there. Let's share this again. I want you guys to hear this. This is important. All right. We don't need that. Let's listen to this again. Listen to this.
How I ended up being stuck with this nigga, I'm gonna tell y'all how I ended up. So I was 4 months pregnant when I met my middle baby daddy. If y'all don't know, I got 3 baby daddies, because I got good pussy. And because I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one.
Always a way to justify the hold'em. There are always, these Jezebels always have a way to justify the hold'em. The straggaliciousness. You got 3 baby daddies because you got the good poom poom. No, you got 3 baby daddies because you were loose with that vajayjay. That's what happened. You were loose with the vajayjay. You thought you were getting ahead with somebody, and you ended up getting 3 little ones in the process, and you're now making ratchet YouTube videos. Let's move on.
One of them people that gonna go back and keep getting pregnant by the same nigga when you already showed me that you want.
No, just get pregnant by other Negroes in the process. That's intelligent.
ain't shit. They just ain't me. A lot of y'all got, you know what I'm saying, one baby daddy, and y'all got 10 children by the motherfucker, or 5. And he proved the first time that he wasn't shit, but bitch, you kept on going back. That ain't none of me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, got pregnant at 18 and all that kind of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? High school, pussy hot than a motherfucker, you know. And shit, you know what I'm saying? And you know, let a nigga talk to me in my motherfucking ear and tell me all that. Oh, you gonna have my baby and all that shit. And I'm just, you know, the nigga taking.
This is where I have a problem with the men. This is where I have a problem with the men who, in their right mind, would listen to her and want to impregnate her or give her your seed. Who in their right mind wants to do that or will do that? Yes, indeed, Bells G. She does sound weird. Who would do that? Let's continue.
Care me because he was a little bit old. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't get pregnant in my mama's house. I was in my own shit. Okay. And you know, let him whistle them sweet nothings and shit in my motherfucking ear. You know the shit be good, and then you know what I'm saying. I'm young as fuck, and you know the nigga that made me have my first orgasm. I ain't know that got off in the pee on myself, nigga. The fuck, you know what I'm saying? This nigga got to be from God. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody never made me feel this way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never. What the fuck,
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit. You know, nigga, when you know, hell yeah.
Embarrassing.
A motherfucking baby. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, you want a nigga to do. Bitch, I am here, willing, able, and available. You know what I'm saying? Just motherfucking period. I'm stupid. Right? So the pussy was good and shit. I let the nigga get it out for me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter and all that kind of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. If y'all got a goddamn, you know, story that's prettied up and buttered up and you did it the right way, bitch, I commend you. I wish I could have been goddamn seen the example. But I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, then he got to the point where he want a motherfucking fight. And I'm not a victim of domestic violence. He hit me one good motherfucking time. And when he did, I dropped the whole motherfucking TV on that bitch head in his sleep. That's just me. I ain't taking no ass.
How did I know this was a struggle love recipient? How many of you knew this was a struggle love recipient when you heard us talking? I knew from the get up, I knew from the jump that she was a struggle love recipient, and she got down like that. But with a mouth like that, I'm surprised that man lasted as long as he did without doing what he had to do.
I'm not taking no ass. No nigga ain't finna beat my ass. And to the people that had to suffer through with it, and y'all that came out, and to the people that's going through with it, bitch, call me so I can get you some motherfucking help. And to the people that goddamn made it out of it, I wish I would have knew you back then. I would have showed you how to goddamn get that nigga in his motherfucking sleep. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we know each other, so that nigga got out. Nah, so you know, I'm 4 months pregnant. I done left this nigga and shit. I'm like, bitch, I'm not gonna be a victim of abuse. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. You got me fucked up. My mama ain't raised me. I ain't never seen her to get her ass whooped. Not one day in my motherfucking life. Now, have I seen her punch a nigga? I have. You know what I'm saying? I have. You know what I'm saying? I would be the bitch that punch a nigga. I ain't getting.
What? Did you hear that? More of the violence, more of the violent women. This is see, I knew this was from above when I got this video. And then confirmation happened when I showed you the first video. There's something here with the violence that is happening in the community and it's getting passed down. You remember what she said? Not one, not two, but how many kids? Three children that get raised up by this, get to see the same violent behavior that the grandmother did, the mother did. Some people would call that generational curse, but that's another video.
The one gonna be getting punched. We ain't doing all this. So so I'm 4 months pregnant and all that kind of shit. And back then, why the fuck am I telling y'all this? How the fuck we get on this shit? But we on, we here. You know what I'm saying? So back then we ain't had no goddamn, apps and all that shit. So I'm pregnant and shit. Feeling a little discouraged and shit because I done dropped out of school like a fucking fool and all that kind of damn shit and all that. Right? I done goddamn time. I'm on a little chat line and shit. And I jump in a little chat line just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? And the internet a motherfucker. And fucking around in the chat room and I done beat the guy. I done met my damn my second daughter father. He jumped on there a nice guy. We don't have
Fast
no
forward a little
sex
bit.
and shit because I'm one of them people that I'm not fucking a nigga and I'm pregnant with another nigga baby. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? If you
That's
decide
where
to
you
get
draw
you
the
a dick
line?
and shit because the dick you was fucking was sorry as fuck, and I ain't judging you, bitch. I ain't judging. I ain't judging. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my. I ain't judging. You know what I'm saying? Shit, because the bitch be horny when they be goddamn pregnant and shit. But I was just like, you know, I'm not fucking that nigga while I'm pregnant with another nigga baby, so I ain't fucking. Child, Lord, how motherfucking mercy. Child, I had the goddamn told the man, you know, he had to ask me for my hand in marriage and all that shit like that. I'm young, I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? You know, I could get this shit right. You know, I can get this shit right. I can do. I started off, it was shaky, but I can get this shit right. I can get married, and I can, you know, my dad was a pastor and all that kind of shit. I can get it right, right? So, you know, I end up marrying a nigga, you know, or whatever, and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I knew the benefits, and I got a lot of people in the military in my family, and I hit on a few motherfuckers.
Fellas, watch out. There's a lot of ladies. You hear what she's saying? The benefits things. They say they don't marry guys for what they got, and they benefits. They don't have nothing. All the men is broken, whatever else they say, because you ain't making all. Nope. They're getting with men because of the benefits. Pay attention.
Up and ask them, was it beneficial for me to marry this nigga? It's beneficial, Keith. Period, bitch. We can get married. Right? And so, you know, the nigga threw me a baby shower for a baby that went biological his. He was just a good motherfucking nigga. I'm like, I hit that fucking jackpot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, after I had them, you know, had the baby and all that kind of shit like that, because I fucked him within my 6 weeks. You know, not fucked him, but married him within my 6 weeks. Right? And so when the 6 weeks was up, because we just went down to the courthouse, when the 6 weeks and shit was up, you know what I'm saying? I was shit. I'm like, nigga, I'm finna goddamn jump this nigga bones. This nigga's been father of the motherfucking year. You know what I'm saying? He done goddamn stepped in and stepped up where another nigga stepped the fuck out.
All right. To the guy who came in and started dating a pregnant woman, took care of her, paid her bills, took her to doctor appointments. What in the blue baboon hell were you thinking? That had to be the simp move of the year. Now, it could be different if she was the Stedford of the Stedford persuasion. You know, she had everything in her line. She was polished and prim and proper. But why? Oh, why would you get with a pregnant lady like this?
You know what I'm saying? All this shit. Child. Child, we get naked, right? You know what I'm saying? We get naked and you know, he ain't took his drawers off yet and all that shit. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He gotta take I mean, maybe he gonna, you know, he take them out when he get ready to take them out. I need you know, eat a little pussy. You know what I'm saying? Eat a little pussy, get me together and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready and shit. And I'm like, I'm gonna give you some dick, bitch. I ain't had no dick since I was 4 months pregnant. You know?
That's all they think about, and that's all you amount to. Remember what I said, brothers. You matter.
You know what I'm saying? All this shit. You know what I'm saying? I got this nigga that been being horny and shit, and you know, I ain't want to be fucking this nigga. What's up, LaShae? I ain't want to be fucking this nigga with another nigga baby and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I did the shit the right way. Child, when I tell you when this nigga pulled his motherfucking drawers down, I thought the dick wasn't even on hard. I don't know, Tierra, how you supposed to work? I don't even know how the fuck we here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the nigga pulled his drawers down and shit. I'm like, okay, he must not be turned on. You know what I'm saying? A little dick and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just in the, you know what I'm saying? You know, just have, you know, just a little something. Just a little something. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, it still got to get on hard because I know that sometimes a nigga can have a short dick, but he could be a grower. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, just vulgar as hell. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Yes, that must have been God. That was God, because that's when the video messed up on her, and that was the end of the video. Let me, because you guys need to see me for this outro. I didn't just play these videos for my enjoyment, though I did play it for my enjoyment, and I did watch them. I did save them for my enjoyment. I'm not playing them here for you for enjoyment. I'm playing them so lessons can be learned, because this is a learning experience at times. So I want you guys to learn something. I want you guys to see and learn from examples of people outside of your family and your everyday being, and know that the stereotypes that are given to us and the women of the community is not just a stereotype. You are seeing it loud, clear, and on full volume that these women act and actually do portray the things and actually do the things that men are saying. They actually are getting with guys because of their benefits, not because they truly and wholeheartedly want them. You see that they continue to act ratchet and ghetto no matter where they are and who they're talking to, and they continue to be vulgar and loud and angry and abusive. And the problem that I have with all of this is because one side, their side, continues to say that this is the men is not on their job, and the men are abusive, and the men are bums, and it's the men that are fighting and destroying everything and not being fathers, not being good fathers, or being present. And at the same time, they're being toxic people, and they're being toxic examples for the kids that they are raising up. And I say that with the utmost respect, because I do care about the kids. I no longer care about the grown people in the community. They can do what they want. They can fend for themselves. But I do, in fact, care for the next generation that is coming up. And it is no different from the young kid that Sukiana twerked on. It's no different than the ladies in the FNF video cussing and drinking malt liquors in front of another child, small child, I think 2 in that video. And it is beginning to become disturbing to see these children being used and exploited and put in situations that they did not ask to be in, and being able to see these kids being ruined in real time is hurtful. And it is painful, to say the least, but it is happening, and it is real, and it will continue to happen unless, hey, it always continue to happen. But one of the main problems in the community is there are not people to call it out, because men have been scared and put into positions that they did not want to be in, and be labeled as a sellout and be labeled as something undesirable in the community. And they've been running with their tails between their legs for the last 30 and 40 years. But I told you guys, if it's the last thing I do, I will continue to exploit and expose these ratchet, stragglicious females for the actual demons they are. Now, you ask and you see men say over and over again that when they grow up and then they decide to make something out of themselves, they decide to leave the community and do something different. Why? Well, you're seeing why, and you've seen why firsthand. They have been raised 18 to 20 plus years being around these loud, ratchet, ghetto women, and then when they decide to grow and decide to travel and decide to do something different, their eyes are wide open. The veil is lifted, and they see the promised land, whether they decide to stay with the women of their color or whether they decide to go over and date out. They see something different. And why wouldn't you want to go where peace is? Men want peace. At the end of the day, unless they are toxic as well, men want peace. They do not want these loud, aggressive, masculine, vulgar women to be the centerpiece of their family, to be the centerpiece of their union. And a lot of women don't see that. And they continue to feed into this culture because what? They have the women to lift them up. They have the world. They have media to continue to prop them up and say, you go, girl. Yes, queen. Continue to do the things that you're doing because we love you, and all you need is us for validation. Forget the men. But you guys have to remember, you women have to remember that the men are the cornerstones. The men are the ones to perpetuate the cult, not all of the culture, but they are the people to make the men and the women that they raise. They give them the character that they use in life, not the woman, not the women, not by themselves. And you see what happens when women are left with young boys and young girls to raise them around this culture. They get twerked on, they get added to videos and vulgar things and alcohol and everything you can add to the situation that is negative for the child. They are put in that situation and they continue to be praised because the women that are in that sisterhood will continue to uplift them and do that over and over and over again because women are social creatures and they want to be accepted. They do not want to rock the boat. They want to continue to be a part of the sisterhood and be lifted up because that's what makes them feel good. They don't want the boat rocked. But remember what I said, guys. I will always be here to do what I do and do it at my best ability. And you always have had that promise from me. Guys, until next time, it's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. I hope you got something out of the stream. I hope this was something that you will remember, and I hope you guys will always protect yourselves and remember that you are the masters of your universe. You are the master of your life. No one can tell you what to do, when to do it, but you and only you can tell and set your limits. So guys, until next time, I appreciate you. Have a good night. Peace.
I know someday we could finally be. I know someday we could finally be. We could finally be. I know someday finally be. I know someday we could. I know someday we could finally be.